Exclusive contract for Feilu Novel Network Novel. Anti-Japanese War. Many children, many blessings, our old Li becomes a great power through the anti-Japanese war, become Li Yunlong, awaken the multi-child and multi-blessing system, start by intercepting Hu Xiaoya, with 3 shots. Induce the Koi physique, awaken the full-level intelligence talent, and use the army cultivation card. From then on, old Li changed his life against the heavens. Military industry, medicine, technology, and agriculture have all exploded Type 56 rifles, 107 rocket launchers, Type 59 tanks, fighter jets, hydrogen bombs, atomic bombs. Have all made appearances. The battlefield instantly became a muscle show and testing ground for Li Yunlong.Tian Yu. I didn't expect that Lao Li was a medical genius who invented penicillinYang Xiuqin. No, he is the biological parents of farmers and invented hybrid rice. Brigade commander. Li Yunlong is different. He doesn't cause trouble, voluntarily surrender supplies, and even solves the fear of insufficient firepower in the 8th route. Boss. Li Yunlong was so lucky that the 107 rocket launcher test shot actually hit the headquarters of the Japanese army. Xiao. Dad, stop beating me. My son will kneel down for you. Mao Xiong. Seeking skills and support. Eagle sauce. The Eastern Lion has awakened, and our dream of dominating the world should also awaken Li Yunlong. I'm not a great power, I just have a group of wives behind me who silently contribute. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 01, Cut off Hu Xiaoya at the beginning, 3 shots with 1 shot. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. In early 1940. Wing Center. In a rudimentary bungalow, with only the bright red 11 character on the window standing out, every household was deserted. On the con. Lao Li, be gentle. A woman with a beautiful appearance and a beautiful face spoke softly and shyly. The man whispered, and said, a moment in the spring night is worth 1,000 gold. Xiaoya, let's start. Then began a tumultuous journey. His name is Li Yunlong and he is a traveler who traveled to this world 3 months ago. Appointed by Captain Chen to take over the new regiment. The new team at this time is not the one that can compete with Sakata. 1 is poor, 2 are poor. No guns, no people. The whole team is only 600 or 700 people, almost all of them are old sleeves and Hanyang made ones. The rifling has been worn flat, and some muzzles have even slightly deformed. The average number of bullets per person is less than 10. In Li Yunlong's words, poor people are almost like pants crotch. Faced with such a mess, Li Yunlong felt a headache and immense pressure. 1 lacks experience, 2 lacks systems. 3 hundreds of people followed him, even if there was a slight mistake, it was a living life. What made the new situation even worse was that while heading to Yunling village, they encountered a little devil slaughtering the villagers. Kill my people, insult my women. As a traveler, under the education of our motherland, we have an innate anger and hatred towards the little devils. How can we tolerate it? So, with the efforts of the new group, Li Yunlong rescued the common people. However, to Li Yunlong's surprise, Xiaoya was also among the crowd. Subsequently, Li Yunlong brought Xiaoya back to the Youth League headquarters. After 3 months of getting along, Xiaoya gradually fell in love with a knowledgeable, humorous, cheerful and optimistic big boy. Li Yunlong, as a traveler and a modern person, has experience in dealing with people from 2 lifetimes. Thought, vision, knowledge, and speech are naturally not comparable to those of this era. In addition, there is a confidence and composure between the eyebrows that ordinary people do not have. Mature, seasoned. Dealing with people comprehensively. So, as a lady from a wealthy family, it is normal for Xiaoya to have a favorable impression of Li Yunlong. So, Xiaoya married Li Yunlong. Soon. Nightingales cry, red balls fall. In an instant. A systematic sound resounds in the brain. Ding, congratulations to the host for successfully getting married and awakening the multi-child and multi-blessing system. Li Yunlong was slightly stunned and stopped swaying back and forth. A multi-child multi-blessing system. I didn't hear it wrong, did I? Ha ha ha. Sure enough, as a traveler, why don't you have a system? Li Yunlong was overjoyed. However, a multi-child multi-blessing system. This seems a bit unorthodox. I went to the battlefield to fight against the Japanese. You come with such a thing. You can't take your girls to the battlefield, can you? Ding, congratulations to the host for obtaining the beginner gift pack. Do you want to claim it? It's needless to say, of course I received it. Li Yunlong thought to himself. Congratulations to the host for successfully collecting it, reward body attributes. Strength plus 100%, stamina plus 200%. Reward 100 steps piercing Yang spear technique. From 500 meters away, hit every shot. Reward for precise projectile throwing, 200 meters away, 1 accurate shot at a time. Reward 38 rifles *100, 10,000 bullets, wooden handle grenades. 500, a crooked handle, 50 ammunition base. Host, please take more wives and concubines to receive more rewards. As the sound falls. Boom. A strong force fills the whole body, creating a burning sensation. In an instant. The muscles all over the body are like a quasi-northeast tiger, forming clear and visible muscle lines. Meanwhile, Li Yunlong's mind was filled with various scenes of marksmanship training and ammunition dropping training. Imprinted in my mind. It won't go away. In that moment, Li Yunlong felt as if his marksmanship and projectile throwing skills had reached an uninhabited state. A sense of power explodes. I'm about to break through the constraints of my body and emerge, just in time for sexual activity. Puff. Startled, Li Yunlong quickly withdrew and walked out. Under the red candle. Xiaoya's face showed a blush, with an expression that was still unsatisfied. Xiaoya was originally the daughter of a wealthy family in the demon capital. She was pampered from a young age and had fair skin. Plus today's big celebration, after a meal of kneading, Xiaoya's peach blossoms were all over her face, and the moon closed and she blushed. It's so beautiful. At this point, the system sounds again. Ding, congratulations to the host for firing 3 shots with 1 shot. Inducing physique, awakening full-level intelligence talent, and obtaining a unit enlightenment card. Li Yunlong is completely numb. P.S. Bold author new book, different Li Yunlong, kneeling down for all support. Chapter 02, The Rising New Group. Tiger mouth pulls out its teeth. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Induce physique, awaken full-level understanding talent, and obtain a unit influence card. Physique. The host is blessed with good luck, and their luck is bursting. Full-level understanding talent. Host's understanding explodes, can be created, can be developed. Unit probation card. The host can probation a 500-person unit, and after using it, they will be loyal and devoted to the host. 1 shot 3 shots. Good guy. This is too incredible. It's time for the new group to rise up. The next morning. Li Yunlong called Zhang Dabiao over. Captain, we got up so early on our wedding night. Are you still using the brush, kid? Li Yunlong gave a white glance and said, how about you investigate the situation in Xiangyou village? How's the investigation going? Captain, we have investigated thoroughly. Zhang Dabiao reported. At present, there is a Japanese squadron in Xianyazwang, with a force of about 180 people. In addition, there is a puppet army in 1 battalion, with approximately 500 soldiers. In terms of weapons, the Japanese are equipped with 38 rifles, 2 Type 92 heavy machine guns, and 5 crooked handlebars. There are also 2 60 mortars. On the puppet army's side, they were equipped with center rifles, 6 heavy machine guns, and 12 crooked handlebars. Ha ha ha. Upon hearing this, Li Yunlong's eyes lit up and he said, "You're getting rich. The little devil has sent us equipment again." Zhang Dabiao's expression was somewhat serious. "Captain, are we really going to fight against Xiuqin? This is not nonsense. But there's a huge disparity in our strength." Zhang Dabiao reminded, "Captain, I'm not trying to undermine my own authority by using other people's aspirations. Firstly, I don't have any weapons to attack. Just the cannon in Xiuqin is enough for us to drink a pot. Secondly, we are currently facing a shortage of ammunition, outdated weapons, and our arms cannot twist our thighs. In case." What Zhang Dabiao said is also true. The current new regiment has only 5 bullets per person. The entire team has only 50 hand grenades. Plus, they are all some old-fashioned weapons. Not even light or heavy machine guns, let alone mortars. Facing nearly 200 Japanese and over 500 puppet troops. Li Yunlong. "Dabiao, you can do it. There has been progress. Everyone knows how to analyze the situation now. However, as the saying goes, seeking wealth and prosperity insurance. What's the situation with the new regiment? You know better than me. If we don't fight, we might not even be able to eat. If you want to fight, then choose the one you hate the most. Let the little devil hear the 3 words Li Yunlong, and take a damn detour for me. Zhang Dabiao, go and call over officers at or above the company level." Yes. Zhang Dabiao couldn't resist Li Yunlong and could only follow suit. Soon, all cadres at or above the company level of the new regiment gathered at the regimental headquarters. When Zhang Dabiao and others entered, they were immediately attracted by 138 rifles, 10,000 bullets, 500 wooden-handled grenades, and a crooked handle. "Captain, where did this come from?" This is a crook. I like it." Zhang Dabiao and others felt as if they had discovered the new world, caressing the bullets of their new guns. "Where did you come from? You collapsed." Li Yunlong said, "Later, distribute the ammunition." "Yes, Captain. Let me explain the specific situation below. Xiuqin is a pass in Yunling town, a key defense area for the Japanese army, and also a major transportation artery connecting Wanjia town. What a clever little devil. Once we guard this place, if we want to get in and out of our base, we have to detour more than 50 kilometers. It's like a thorn, piercing into our hearts. So tonight, this thorn must be pulled out. Do you all have confidence?" "Yes, yes." Zhang Dabiao and others shouted. "Next, let me explain the specific attack plan. Lu San, you lead the 2nd Battalion to ambush on the west side of the Xiuqin stronghold, blocking the enemy's reinforcements. Zhang Dabiao, Wang Qingzhu, Shen Quan, lead everyone to attack me. The battle must end before dawn." "Yes, Captain." In the early hours of that night, the new group mobilized and headed towards the Xiuqin stronghold. At the same time, Travel Department. Captain Chen is looking worried. "Captain, the medicine we need hasn't arrived yet. Mr. Liu is waiting for this medicine to save his life." Chief of Staff. "If we bypass the Xiuqin stronghold, there won't be enough time. What should I do?" After pondering for a moment, Captain Chen spoke up and said, "Notify the comrades who are delivering the medicine. Let them go to Xiuqin. But the stronghold of Xiuqin is heavily guarded by the Japanese. We only have this penicillin left, in case. Forget it." Brigadier Chen ordered, "Let the brigade security company go and pick it up. Tell them, no matter what, the medicine must be sent back. Yes, Captain. P.S. Old author new book, different Li Yunlong, kneeling down for all support. Chapter 03, Atomic Bombs in Bullets. The Damm Bomb. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Xiuqin Stronghold. Next to the main road connecting Yunling town. A team of 5 people, dressed in the uniforms of ordinary people, with white towels wrapped around their heads and boxes of 8 kings inserted around their waists. They are the medicine protection team. The Xiuqin stronghold is ahead. One of the men said, the security is very strict. Can we go over? An old captain with a mustache said, Old Chen has arranged for someone to pick us up. After we pass the level, let's leave the rest to Old Chen and his team. Everyone nodded. The old man looked at the thin and short middle-aged man beside him, who gestured with his eyes before continuing, everyone be careful later and act according to the situation. Hide all the guns. It can be seen that the identity of this middle-aged man is not simple. The old captain instructed the young man, especially you, protect the things well. The leader's life is counting on it. Got it. After a simple arrangement. A few people walked towards the direction of the level. Just as they arrived at the checkpoint, they were stopped by the puppet army. At the same time. On the other side of the Xiuqin stronghold. Li Yunlong led a new group of soldiers to crawl around the perimeter of the barbed wire fence, each like a hungry wolf, staring fixedly at the drowsy devils on the cannon tower. At 4 o'clock in the morning, it is the most tiring time. Launching an attack at this time can achieve twice the result with half the effort. After understanding the pattern of the searchlight, Li Yunlong said, Shen Quan, take the assault team to touch it. Cross the canal and bring me the devil's searchlights and firepower points. Other people's firepower cover up, ready to respond at any time. Yes. Quickly, Shen Quan led a dozen people crawling towards the barbed wire fence. After inspecting with his fingers, Li Yunlong picked up a bullet and began to ponder. Ding, you are observing bullets and suddenly realizing the self-made method of the Damm bullet. So, Li Yunlong skillfully took out his bullets and started grinding them. Zhang Dabiao looked curious and said, Captain, that's a good bullet. Why are you grinding it? You are too wasteful. Zhang Dabiao, you understand a ball. Li Yunlong explained, this is called a Damm bullet. The Damm bullet, also known as the blooming bullet, grenade bullet, or invasive deformation bullet, is an expanding type of bullet that does not have penetrating power but has extremely high shallow killing power. The caliber of the bullets themselves varies, and they are mostly fired from rifles. However, the wounds caused by them vary by a multiple of the caliber and are directly proportional to the caliber. When the warhead enters the soft tissue of a living target, the lead core undergoes expansion and deformation due to resistance. Some even extrude lead cores to form relatively large deformable bodies, resulting in a significant increase in the energy transmitted by the warhead to the tissue. Expanding the volume and exit of the injury pathway, forming a trumpet-shaped wound with a small inlet and a large outlet, can cause serious damage to the target. The process of striking the human body is very similar to releasing fireworks and firecrackers. This series of processes continued, and the Damm bomb caused extremely terrifying damage to the human body. So, the Damm bomb is known as the atomic bomb in a bullet. For humanitarian reasons, the use of the Damm was explicitly prohibited in the Hague Convention of 1899. Quickly, Li Yunlong finished processing a Damm bullet. Zhang Dabiao. Captain, what is a Damm bullet? Li Yunlong. You don't understand that anymore. Look, the bullet head is engraved with a threaded shape. In this way, the gunpowder inside the bullet head and its surface are as thin as a piece of paper. When the bullet is fired, it rotates at high speed. Firstly, it can increase the stability of the bullet's trajectory and enable long-range shooting of targets. Secondly, when a bullet enters the human body and encounters external forces, it forms a petal shape that gets stuck inside the body and cannot be treated. This little devil will eventually die from excessive blood loss. While speaking, Li Yunlong had already filled the bullets. After hearing this, Zhang Dabiao and others showed surprised expressions and asked with an incredulous expression, "Captain, has a bullet become so powerful after being processed by your hands?" Worship. Shocked. Wang Qingzhu. Today, we can be considered lucky. At this point, Shen Quan and others had already cut open the wire mesh and were touching towards the searchlight and the direction of the enemy's firepower. However, at this moment, bang bang bang. A series of crisp gunshots shattered the pitch-black night. Li Yunlong's heart lifted to his throat and he said, "Damn it, who fired the gun?" "Captain, it's towards Yunling town." "Fire cover. Fight me." P.S. Old author new book, different Li Yunlong, kneeling down for all support. Chapter 04, Li Yunlong's little showcase shocked the entire audience. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. The sudden gunfire directly disrupted Li Yunlong's combat plan. After hearing the gunshots, the drowsy little devils all mustered up their spirits. Quickly discovered Shen Quan and the others. Li Yunlong had no choice but to order the shooting. Bang bang. Da da da. The only crooked member of the whole team was frantically spitting flames towards the level. Due to the distance being too far, many old sleeves made in Hanyang cannot reach them at all. Made in Hanyang, it's a bit better. The old sleeves are simply unsightly, products from the late Qin dynasty. Completely suppressed in front of the little devil's .38 rifle. Little devils keep charging out of the stronghold. Upon seeing this, Zhang Dabiao immediately picked up the crooked handle and crazily aimed at the little devil. "Little devil, your grandfather is here, come on." Da da da. "Captain, the enemy's firepower is too strong. We can't hold on anymore." You observed the Japanese soldiers' formation and had an epiphany, deduced the Japanese intentions, and gained a basic military command skill. Damn it, little devils are trying to annihilate us all. Li Yunlong was not hesitant either. He raised the .38 rifle in his hand, loaded it, aimed it, and pulled the trigger. Flowing clouds and flowing water, completed in one go. Bang! The Damm quickly charged out of the muzzle and flew towards the Japanese machine gunner on the gun turret. The Japanese machine gun in the turret suddenly went silent. It has to be said that the 100 steps piercing Yang spear technique is too impressive. You shoot and have an epiphany, marksmanship +10. Captain, you're so amazing. I, Zhang Dabiao, admire you. Captain, mighty. Stop talking nonsense, give me a call. I don't know who shouted, Captain, there's still a machine gun in the turret. Upon closer inspection, Li Yunlong saw a Type 92 heavy machine gun on the second floor of the turret, spewing out flames wildly. It is impossible to take down Xiuqin without destroying it with a heavy machine gun. Captain, what should we do? After much thought, Li Yunlong shouted, Wang Qingzhu, bring a grenade over. Captain, are you preparing to use a grenade to destroy it? Is this okay? Zhang Dabiao, Wang Qingzhu, and others looked puzzled and hopeful. Li Yunlong did not hesitate, hesitating for an extra second would result in more casualties. He decisively opened the fuse, aimed at it, and threw it forcefully. A grenade forms a parabola in the sky. Shoo! The grenade was accurately thrown into the mouth of the machine gun. Next second. Boom boom. There was a loud explosion coming from inside the turret. Everyone was stunned by Li Yunlong's actions. My goodness, Captain, this is too impressive. I can do anything. 200 meters away. Throw the grenade directly into the enemy's machine gun. Shocked. Stupid eyes. I admire it. This was not over yet. Li Yunlong picked up a few more hand grenades and threw them towards the Japanese gun tower. Everything is thrown accurately, and everyone in the room is shocked. Boom boom. In a moment, the turret turned into ruins. You are throwing a grenade, and you have an epiphany, realizing the mortar technique plus 80. On the other side of Xiuqin. At this point, there were only 3 members left in the medicine protection team. The old captain, the young man, and a thin middle-aged man. They happened to watch Li Yunlong's grenade-throwing operation and were extremely shocked. The skinny old man asked, "Which army is this?" The old captain shook his head and said, I don't know anyone either. Didn't Lao Chen say to send a security guard to come and take over? What are they doing? Is it like attacking the Xiuqin stronghold? Isn't it? With just a few people like them, they dare to attack the stronghold of the little cow farm armed to the teeth. I'm afraid this commander is not crazy. The skinny man didn't take it seriously, and his gaze showed appreciation. This kid, he's a bit clever in battle. Accurate marksmanship. Experienced command. Let's go over and take a look. Leader, bullets don't have long eyes, safety is the top priority. Captain Lao. If anything happens to you, how can I explain it to Captain Chen? Another young man also stood in front of him and said, Chief, let me go. The skinny man said, there's nothing less dangerous in war. Get out of my way. The leader disregarded the dissuasion of the two and insisted on running towards Li Yunlong. At this moment, the little devils were without the support of the turret and light and heavy machine guns, like a toothless tiger. Li Yunlong fully utilized the characteristics of the 8th Route Army's close combat night combat. The little devils who rushed out were knotted one by one. Quickly, under the wise command of Li Yunlong, all the ghosts in the stronghold were annihilated. The puppet army raised their guns and lined up to walk out. Surrender. Zhang Dabiao, Shen Quan, quickly clean up the battlefield and bring back all the useful ones for me. Yes, Captain. You're getting rich. As for these puppet troops, Li Yunlong directly used the military probation card. Incorporate. In this battle, Li Yunlong can be said to have gained a lot. At the same time, the leader and 3 others also arrived in front of Li Yunlong. What part of you are? Li Yunlong turned around and the next second, he was stunned. Isn't this the political commissar of the 129th Division? Dang! Li Yunlong was so excited that he couldn't speak. P.S. Bold author's new book, Kneeling Down for All Data Support. 100 flowers plus 1 update, 10 review tickets plus 1 update, 3 monthly tickets plus 1 update, 1 reward for 10 updates on the first day. Food and clothing. Parents who love this book should provide more support, and the data will be updated immediately. Establish a post as evidence. Chapter 05, Am I Coy? Find your own door for battle achievements. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Li Yunlong had no idea that his luck was so good that he took down the Xiuqin stronghold at the cost of 50 casualties. What surprised Li Yunlong even more was that he would meet Political Commissar Deng of the 129th Division here. That's a remarkable figure. In later generations, he drew a circle like this to help the people live a moderately prosperous life. Report to the Political Commissar, I am Li Yunlong, the leader of the new regiment. We are clearing the tumor for the base area, please instruct. Li Yunlong. Deng Jingwei smiled slightly and said, Are you the prickly leader that old Chen mentioned? It looks a bit like. You commanded well just now, your marksmanship is amazing. Not bad. Deng Jingwei praised Li Yunlong endlessly. Jingwei, how did you appear here? Li Yunlong asked curiously. Shouldn't he be at the headquarters of the 129th Division? Deng Jingwei. It's a long story, Li Yunlong. You have made great contributions this time. Meritorious service. What is the constitution of Koi Carp? Did you come knocking on your door for military achievements? Li Yunlong asked happily. Zheng Wei, we have agreed. I will wait for this battle achievement. Haha. Deng Jingwei smiled with a smile on his face. It's hard to say if it weren't for Li Yunlong this time whether they could have broken through the stronghold of Xiong. Report, Captain, you found something good. Zhang Dabiao bared his teeth and came to Li Yunlong with a cardboard box in his arms. Captain, what do you think this is? Li Yunlong opened the box and saw 12 boxes of penicillin inside. Ha, you're getting rich. Deng Jingwei was also attracted by the joyful sound, and when he came over to take a look, he almost dropped his chin. So much penicillin. This thing is even more expensive than gold. Back then, when General Liu was injured, Deng Jingwei braved gunfire and bullets to cross the blockade lines of the Japanese for such a penicillin. After searching the entire base area in the middle of the wings, I borrowed a penicillin from the headquarters of the 120th Division. Rushing back in a frenzy. As we approached the headquarters, we didn't expect Li Yunlong to attack the stronghold of Xiong. 12 boxes of penicillin were seized at once. Deng Jingwei was stunned. Li Yunlong, this thing has been turned in. Ah. Li Yunlong widened his eyes and looked surprised. Deng Jingwei, isn't this a robbery? It's even more ruthless than our brigade commander. The importance of penicillin goes without saying. Especially for the 8th Route Army. Drugs that can only be used by leaders. Li Yunlong said, the brigade commander can say that all the seized materials belong to the new regiment. You. At the beginning, Captain Chen verbally promised to lure Li Yunlong into the new regiment. The seized materials did not need to be turned in. Although not explicitly stated, it is still assumed. However, Deng Jingwei is the commander of the 129th Division, so he naturally has to follow the rules. Alright, stop talking nonsense. The teacher is still waiting for medicine to save his life. I'll take this penicillin back. Other seized materials. You can handle it yourself. Zheng Wei, what are you saying? The division commander is injured. Li Yunlong asked in surprise. Deng Jingwei said, the gunshot wound is infected and waiting for treatment with penicillin. The security guard of Deng Jingwei beside him said, in order to find penicillin, the leader went all over the military regions and base areas. After listening, Li Yunlong waved his hand and said, Chief, take this penicillin. We, Old Li, promise you that we will seize more penicillin in the future. Solve the soldiers' worries. 8 routes of medical care are backward, and many injured soldiers, if not properly treated, will have their wounds infected. The outcome is either ulceration and amputation, or death. The importance of penicillin is evident. Deng Jingwei patted Li Yunlong's shoulder and said, I'll keep an eye on you. At this time, the guard company dispatched by Brigadier Chen also arrived. After the handover between the two sides, Deng Jingwei returned to the brigade headquarters with penicillin. And Li Yunlong and others also returned with a full load. In this battle, the new regiment not only removed the poisonous thorn from the Xiong stronghold, but also seized a large amount of supplies. Make a profit. Travel Department. Captain Chen is walking back and forth in front of a dilapidated room, with a slightly uneasy and anxious expression, anxious. Master, please don't have anything to do. I don't know how the committee is doing either. The Xiong stronghold is a tough one. Hope everything goes smoothly for Deng Jingwei and his team. At this moment, the door was opened and a doctor in a white coat walked out. He took off his mask and looked serious. Captain, when will penicillin arrive? If you don't come again, the teacher is afraid that you will have to amputate, otherwise the wound will infect Xiaoming. Upon hearing this, Captain Chen's face darkened and he had a bewildered expression. We cannot amputate. This is a last resort decision, in case. As the doctor spoke, tears welled up in his eyes. Report, Captain, Deng Jingwei has returned. Captain Chen was overjoyed and looked towards the entrance. He saw Deng Jingwei and the guards walking in with a box of penicillin. P.S. Old author's new book, kneeling down for all data support. 100 flowers plus 1 update, 10 review tickets plus 1 update, 3 monthly tickets plus 1 update, 1 reward for 10 updates on the first day. Food and clothing. Parents who love this book should provide more support, and the data will be updated immediately. Establish a post as evidence. Chapter 06, Reporting on Achievements, Captain Chen's Shock. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Captain Chen quickly welcomed him and said, General, you have finally returned. I'm afraid I won't be able to come back, right? Ha ha ha. Jingwei Furen has their own destiny. A small stronghold of Xiong cannot hold you back. Ha ha ha. Deng Jingwei smiled and said, Old Chen, what do you think this is? Captain Chen opened the box and his expression immediately froze. Penicillin. The doctor shouted and quickly picked up one and walked into the room. Jingwei, so many penicillin, Jingwei, it still has to be you. With one move, I brought back so much penicillin. It's amazing, amazing. Where did this come from? Deng Jingwei said, Old Chen, I won't say anything flattering anymore. It's not my fault. You also have credit for it. Me. Chen Lv stared big and small. The situation is like this. Deng Jingwei vividly described the incident of Li Yunlong attacking the Xiong stronghold. Captain Chen's mind was buzzing with melon seeds, and he looked surprised. Jingwei, are you saying Li Yunlong has taken over the stronghold of Xiong? No, he. Where did he get the courage? Captain Chen knows better than anyone about the situation of the new regiment. At that time, Captain Chen deliberately referred to the new regiment as the main force of the 8th Route in order to deceive Li Yunlong into joining it. What kind of combat power is there? How many days have passed for Li Yunlong? Led a new team to end the Little Cow Manor stronghold armed to the teeth. Just rely on Li Yunlong's equipment. I can't believe it. Jingwei, are you sure you're not mistaken? Deng Jingwei said, no mistake. Without Li Yunlong, we wouldn't have been able to return. Not to mention, this kid has fought twice. Playing cards completely out of line, using hand grenades as mortars, this is the first time I've seen them. Haha. Deng Jingwei's words showed a liking for Li Yunlong. Captain Chen said, this kid hasn't lost the face of our 386th Brigade. It seems that letting him lead a new team is a wise choice. Captain Chen had a very proud expression on his face. New Youth League headquarters. Zhang Dabiao walked over with a happy smile and reported, Captain, we have compiled the statistics. This time at the Xiong stronghold, we captured 2 Type 92 heavy machine guns and 4 crooked handlebars. There are over 238 rifles and an estimated 40,000 bullets. In addition, a puppet army was also incorporated, and their battalion commander was named Yang Jijie. Li Yunlong naturally knew about the matter of recruiting troops. That's the role of the military probation card, this puppet army is completely loyal to Li Yunlong. However, although this weapon can solve the current situation of the new regiment. But if you want to update and iterate weapons, you still need to have your own arsenal. Li Yunlong said, so, the new regiment now has over 1,100 troops. Yes, Captain. Zhang Dabiao continued, by the way, this time I seized a lot of grain, including white noodles, sake, as well as chicken, pork, and canned beef. Enough for us to eat for 2 months. As the saying goes, if it doesn't open for 3 years, it will take 3 years to open. Li Yunlong. Notify the cooking team to add today's meal. Pork stewed vermicelli. Yes, Captain. Zhang Dabiao grinned as he heard something to eat, almost forgetting the main thing. By the way, Captain, Yang Jijie said he has important information to report to you. Then. Let him in. Quickly, Yang Jijie walked in and after a brief military salute, he said, Captain, the little devils are going to encircle and suppress our military base. Li Yunlong's face changed drastically and he said, when? I don't know the specific situation. Yang Jijie said, at that time, while delivering food to the Japanese, I eavesdropped outside the door. The goal is our army's 8th Route headquarters. 8th Route headquarters. Is it the Yamamoto Special Agent Team? It shouldn't be. It is now early 1940, and according to historical development, the Yamamoto Special Forces were formed after the Battle of Cangyunling. Li Yunlong couldn't grasp what Yang Jijie was saying. Two things: first, Zhang Dabiao, select a group of skilled soldiers from the entire regiment and organize a special forces team. I will personally train a special forces unit that is needed in any era. Not only because they are fierce in battle and can perform tasks that ordinary soldiers cannot. Thousands of miles away, take the enemy's head. The most important thing is that the new regiment has not yet formed combat effectiveness. If Li Yunlong trains the special forces, then they train the soldiers below. A little bit with a face, one side with a hole. In this way, we can achieve twice the result with half the effort. Yes, Captain. Although Zhang Dabiao didn't know what a special forces team was. But Li Yunlong's words, he will obey without hesitation. Not only Li Yunlong, but after the battle, all the soldiers in the regiment admire Li Yunlong as the new commander. With reliance, personal charm, and admiration, Li Yunlong's appeal has rapidly increased. Secondly, the whole regiment enters a devilish training and vows to resist the enemy's encirclement to the death. Yes. By the way, Zhang Dabiao, call Wang Qingzhu for me. Quickly, the new team entered a tense and exciting training mode, including marksmanship, bayonet skills, physical fitness, and projectile throwing skills. These are all routine training. In short, the new regiment should improve its overall combat effectiveness in the shortest possible time. Captain, are you looking for me? Wang Qingzhu walked in with a thud. Li Yunlong. Where did the oil barrels confiscated from the Xiuqin stronghold go? In the backyard. Wang Qingzhu kindly touched his head and said, Captain, why do we need this oil barrel? Make a cannon. Li Yunlong lost a sentence and walked to the backyard first. P.S. Old author's new book, Kneeling Down for All Data Support. 100 flowers plus 1 update, 10 review tickets plus 1 update, 3 monthly tickets plus 1 update, 1 reward for 10 updates on the first day. The first day is approaching, will there be any rewards? In Chapter 07, the early launch of the Thunder Cannon marked the beginning of a new era. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Backyard. This place is filled with 12 gasoline barrels. These are all things that the little devil casually threw at the Xiuqin stronghold after filling up the gasoline. Li Yunlong asked Wang Qingzhu to ignore any weapons and only be responsible for bringing back these gasoline barrels. At this moment, Wang Qingzhu looked bewildered. I have no idea what Li Yunlong is up to. Captain, can this gasoline barrel really make cannons? That's it. Li Yunlong picked up the tool and started pounding the oil barrel. You are renovating an oil barrel and have an epiphany, understanding the production method and principle of a flying cannon, your operational ability plus 60%. In an instant, the production method and visuals of the torpedo suddenly entered Li Yunlong's mind. The torpedo is mainly carried by oil drums, which bundle the explosive package into a circular shape and load it into the interior, igniting the firing ammunition at the bottom. It can deliver about 10 kilograms of explosives to the defensive fortifications, thereby disintegrating the enemy trenches. The most common type of torpedo is the oil barrel used as the gun body to load explosives, because the oil barrel has a large capacity, a thick barrel body, and an astonishing caliber. Most of them are above 500 millimeters. Equipped with a large amount of explosives, the explosive power triggered at once is considerable. And through the propulsion of propellants, soldiers can be ejected from a relatively safe distance of about 150.200 meters, improving their survival ability. In addition, the soldiers conveniently carried large amounts of explosives in gasoline barrels, which were thrown into enemy fortifications and detonated. Although it will not cause sufficient fragmentation damage like professional howitzers. But due to its large caliber, sufficient charge, and a maximum damage radius of 20 meters, once it lands, it will generate a huge explosive impact force. Wherever they go, both soldiers and horses will be blown up. It's better to say that a cannon can shock people to death than to say it can kill enemies. Because many enemies who have been hit by lightning often cannot find any wounds on their bodies. But it was discovered that they were bleeding from the 7 holes. Also known as the heartless cannon. Quickly, a torpedo was completed. Wang Qingzhu on the side was stunned by Li Yunlong's actions. The production of the torpedo has been completed, and the rest is the explosive package. You are making explosives and have an epiphany on the production method and principle of TNT, as well as the extraction methods of nitroglycerin and ammonium nitrate. You are installing black gunpowder and have an epiphany, realizing the way to find nitrate and sulfur ores. Li Yunlong used black gunpowder to put it into a cylindrical helmet-shaped explosive package, and then inserted a detonator. A simple explosive package has been made. The principle of a torpedo is to use a circular iron cylinder with a small explosive charge placed at the bottom and a partition placed in the middle. As long as the explosive package is placed on the partition and the small explosive package is ignited, the circular large explosive package can be fired out. Of course, this binding method is standard and reliable. Easy for soldiers to learn, the binding equipment is backpack straps and duvet covers. There are many of these things in the army, just use them. If you want to tell the soldiers how to tie them, it will be difficult to teach and learn. If you tell the soldiers to tie them up like a quilt, then they will learn quickly. In just 2 hours, the production of the torpedo and explosive package has been completed. Wang Qingzhu looked at the cannon that was so picky and suspicious, and said, "Captain, can this be done? This is just an iron bucket, with a spring placed on top of it. Is that okay? Just give it a try and you'll know, right?" Li Yunlong didn't say anything nonsense. Don't be fooled by the simplicity of making a cannon, it can be incredibly powerful. Although it cannot compare to regular cannons, it can instantly kill and throw hand grenades, with the advantages of high power, simple production, and low cost. Extremely easy to replicate, capable of assembling new clusters on a large scale. Provide firepower support for the new regiment. When the army is stuck in a stalemate of war, it is often a breakthrough weapon. Quickly, Wang Qingzhu arrived at a vacant land on the back mountain of Yunling village, carrying a torpedo. Once everything is ready, Li Yunlong put the explosive package into the iron tube, lit the detonator, and the sound of the fire wire rang out. Bang! Under the action of the spring, the explosive package is quickly ejected. I saw the explosive package forming a parabola in the sky, falling 200 meters away. Boom boom. The mountain collapses and the earth cracks, deafening. With a loud bang, a huge black pit appeared on the ground. The withered trees and stones around were all shaken away. A huge shock wave dispersed in all directions. Seeing this scene, Wang Qingzhu was dumbfounded. I didn't expect this seemingly simple thing to have such immense power. It's unbelievable. Captain, you're amazing. With it. Are we still afraid of the little devils? Li Yunlong said calmly, "Pillar, copy it this way. 12 flying cannons, enough for a little devil to drink a pot." "Yes, Captain." As soon as he finished speaking, Zhang Dabiao, along with a group of people, rushed over in a panic and quickly said, "Captain, Captain. Where did the explosion occur? Is it a little devil's raid?" P.S. Old author's new book, Kneeling Down for All Data Support. 100 flowers plus 1 update, 10 review tickets plus 1 update, 3 monthly tickets plus 1 update, 1 reward for 10 updates. Chapter 08, Preparation. The whole team is not brave, not angry. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Zhang Dabiao believes that it is normal for the little devils to raid. After all, you have just taken over the Xianniazhuang stronghold, and it's not surprising that they come knocking on you. Hurry up, protect the captain. Zhang Dabiao shouted nervously. Wang Qingzhu smiled and said, "Captain, where did the Japanese sneak attack come from? I just heard someone shooting. That's the new weapon our leader just manufactured." Everyone was stunned. Everyone in the room was shocked. "Captain, you missed a good show." Wang Qingzhu pointed to the cannon and said, "Look, what's this?" Zhang Dabiao looked at the torpedo and then at the black soil pit 200 meters away, his face full of disbelief. "Captain, isn't this an iron bucket? After all your tinkering." It turned into a large caliber shell. Zhang Dabiao finally knows why Li Yunlong asked Wang Qingzhu to move this thing. Li Yunlong. It's a heavy weapon prepared by our new team for the little devils. Wang Qingzhu, find some gunners. Later, I'll teach you how to shoot. Yes, Captain. The disadvantages of a torpedo are low accuracy and short range. Suitable for launching a sudden attack in a short period of time, with deliberate force and a burst of enthusiasm. Moreover, its manufacturing process is very rough, and if one is not careful, it will explode in place, accidentally injuring one's own people. This requires strict operational techniques and launch techniques. In addition, on the battlefield, the machine of the torpedo is too large to cover up and is easily detected by the enemy. Need to disguise. These all require professional training. Li Yunlong understood that in order for the 8th route to rapidly develop military industry, bombers are a necessary transitional weapon. The road needs to be walked step by step, and food needs to be eaten one by one. In the impoverished 8th route, the cannon is undoubtedly the most suitable weapon at present. Quickly, Wang Qingzhu gathered the only 15 gunners in the entire regiment. You are teaching soldiers how to shoot artillery, and you have an epiphany, realizing artillery tactics. These gunners have a certain level of artillery skills, but the flying cannon is different. After igniting the detonator, they must quickly leave the firing point. Avoid accidental injuries caused by explosions. To solve this problem, Li Yunlong also instructed the artillery to carry out special civil engineering operations. The specific way is to dig a cat's ears, steamed cat-ear-shaped bread, next to the torpedo and give it to the artillery. You are practicing soldiers' positioning, and you have an epiphany, realizing the coordinated tactics of infantry. Quickly, under the guidance of Li Yunlong, Wang Qingzhu and the artillery fully mastered the principle and production method of the flying cannon. The next step is to manufacture all 12 remaining gasoline barrels into flying cannons. On the other side, Zhang Dabiao also selected 20 skilled soldiers from the entire regiment, including Lu San, Ong Dali, Shui, and others. They all have their own unique skills. For example, soldiers from hunting backgrounds have stronger physical fitness, sharpness, and marksmanship than others. For example, young farmers have been throwing water floats since childhood, and their bomb-dropping skills are superior to others. Or it could be a thief with advanced unlocking technology. Wait. Li Yunlong. You are the elite of the whole team. I will conduct special training for you in the next time. You are conducting special training for soldiers and have an epiphany, obtaining the Special Forces Training Outline. You will need to undergo basic training such as physical fitness, shooting, fighting, perseverance, reaction ability, and weight-bearing running. In the future, special operations sign language, tactics, infiltration, interweaving, assassination, reconnaissance and espionage skills will also be carried out. Combat skill training. Require every special forces soldier to proficiently master various weapons of their own and foreign armies, including various firearms, hand grenades, gun grenades, small caliber artillery, and anti-tank weapons, as well as various skills in unarmed combat. Every special forces soldier can adapt to street and night battles, and can search and escape danger. Mobile skill training. The driving of various vehicles is undoubtedly effortless, and proficient troubleshooting and the use of equipment and weapons on motor vehicles are even more basic requirements. Penetration skill training. Parachuting, climbing, crossing minefields, recognizing maps, and long-distance off-road marching. There is also training in reconnaissance and espionage skills. There are various means of intelligence, such as observing lurking, eavesdropping, capturing prisoners, interrogating prisoners, and taking photos. If necessary, password communication must also be used for communication. Even if conditions permit, parachute training can be conducted. Jumping from an altitude of 8,000 meters. And wilderness survival training, bringing 3 days of food to survive in the wilderness for 7 days. On the way, we also need to carry out exercises such as breakout, counter-breakout, reconnaissance of enemy situations, and climbing cliffs prepared by our superiors. These are all things that special forces need to control. Of course, a strong army cannot be trained overnight. After listening, Lu San and others immediately showed a burning gaze. Passionate, I am filled with anticipation for the upcoming training. Everything is developing according to Li Yunlong's plan. 1 month later. Under the supervision of Li Yunlong, the new soldiers of the regiment worked hard to train, and the 5 major tactics of infantry were formed from this. Assassination, shooting, bomb dropping, earthwork, and blasting. The combat literacy has greatly improved. In a month's time, the new team completely changed their temperament. You can see the wolf-like nature on every warrior's body, with a bright and lively gaze that seems to be able to lay and catch prey at all times. Not chivalrous but brave, not angry but mighty. Youth League Department. Li Yunlong was chatting with Xiaoya when Zhang Dabiao rushed in with toilet paper in a hurry. Captain, there's a significant discovery. P.S. Starting today, there will be normal updates, with 4 or 8,000 words for daily updates, 100 flowers plus 1 update, 10 review tickets plus 1 update, 3 monthly tickets plus 1 update, and a reward of 10 updates exploding. Do what you say. Chapter 09, Battle of Cangyunling, Headquarters vs. New Regiment. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Youth League Department. Xiaoya pinched Li Yunlong's shoulder and said, "Old Li, you've been working hard lately. You should feel more comfortable pinching it now." "Still Xiaoya, you treat me well." Li Yunlong patted Xiaoya's hand and said, "The army needs reform recently, so I can't accompany you anymore. How about you find something to do too?" "Xiaoya. In the army, what can I do?" Li Yunlong encouraged, "You graduated from Fudan University in Shanghai and are a highly educated talent. Your role is so great. Alright, I'll set up a school where you can teach soldiers how to read and reason. Provide cultural knowledge and literacy for the new team. The cultural level and knowledge dissemination of a military unit are of great significance. The weapons of the army will become increasingly high-tech and advanced in the future, which requires a certain cultural foundation as support. The mud-legged son of the 8th Route Army, from a peasant background, could not recognize a single character. To lay a solid foundation, basic culture is crucial. To tell a cruel fact. The literacy rate in the late Qing dynasty was only 4%. In the West, primary education has been basically popularized, with a literacy rate of over 80%. After the Meiji Restoration in Japan, primary education was basically popularized, and the literacy rate exceeded 50%. In terms of soldiers, about 95% of the soldiers in Dragon Country are illiterate, and only 5% are literate. At that time, only Guangxi province in the country implemented compulsory education, which was used as an assessment indicator for rural officials. However, during the same period, Japan basically achieved 99% of the population receiving compulsory primary education. In the 1920s, the popularization rate of compulsory education in Japan reached as high as 95%. By 1936, Japan's rural areas had completed 100% compulsory primary education, and cities began to popularize compulsory secondary education. Officer. Less than 10% of officers in the Dragon Kingdom have received primary education or specialized training in soldier schools. More than 90% of Japanese military officers have received secondary education or graduated from non-commissioned officer schools. Lower-level officers. Only about 50% of lower-level officers in the Dragon Kingdom have received secondary education or graduated from military schools. More than 50% of Japanese military officers have graduated from higher education or specialized military colleges. More than 80% of military officers in Eagle Sauce have graduated from higher education or specialized military academies. As for cultural goods, such as pens, watches, telescopes, cameras, radios, or players, less than 2% of soldiers in the Dragon Kingdom have pens. Only military officers have watches or alarms, and only a few grassroots officers have telescopes. Most Japanese soldiers have pens, if they are willing to carry them. Japanese military officers generally have telescopes, and many grassroots officers have radios or players. Only senior military officers in the Dragon Kingdom have radio or telephone access. Japanese intermediate officers are generally equipped with radio or telephone. What does this indicate? Knowledge changes destiny. It is even more difficult to change national destiny. Knowledge is related to people's livelihoods, technology, military, and other aspects. It's about whether a country can be strong, so Li Yunlong must start with a new team. Faced with what she was good at, Xiaoya was also very willing and readily agreed. Lao Li, you still understand me the most. That's. The two of them were about to kiss me when Zhang Dabiao rushed in with a stack of toilet paper. Captain, have you made any significant discoveries? Do you understand? Li Yunlong kicked Zhang Dabiao's buttocks as he spoke. No, Captain, look. Zhang Dabiao handed the toilet paper to Li Yunlong. The paper was densely covered in Japanese. Where did this come from? Last time we attacked the Xiuqin stronghold, we captured the Japanese. I thought it would be a pity to lose these papers, so I took them over and used them as toilet paper. Li Yunlong's face turned black after listening. Japanese electronic paper, use it as toilet paper. Did you find anything? No. Zhang Dabiao smiled foolishly and said, well, you can't read the bird language of the illiterate little devils. Just find the captain and take a look. There must be a little devil's battle plan here. What did you say you made a significant discovery, kid? After speaking, Li Yunlong kicked Zhang Dabiao's butt again. Then, Li Yunlong casually opened the little devil's telegram. The next second, Li Yunlong looked serious and said, it's over. It's delaying big things. Zhang Dabiao. Captain, what happened? The Japanese North China Command, the First Army led by Yoshino Shizuka, will dispatch the Sakata Squadron to encircle our 129th Division in 3 days. Damn it, little devils are trying to catch us all in one go. The 129th Division is with the 8th Route Headquarters. Encircling and suppressing the 129th Division is not about targeting the 8th Route Headquarters. Zhang Dabiao. What? Sakata United. That's the enemy of our 386th Brigade. During the last anti-sweeping campaign in Yunlin, the independent regiment, led by Kong Jia, and Sakata United fought an encounter. The independent regiment suffered losses of over 300 people, with its leader Kong Jia injured and its committee member Li Yunlong sacrificed. Therefore, Captain Chen ordered that the Cicada Brigade was the mortal enemy of the 386th Brigade. Li Yunlong rubbed his hands and said, "I didn't expect that this time we'll run into each other. Old Kong, you still need me to avenge this for you." Immediately, Li Yunlong took out the surrounding newspapers, carefully examined and analyzed them. At present, the headquarters, division headquarters, and brigade are all located in Yunling village. So, the little devils will definitely encircle and suppress from Cangyunling. Send me orders, gather the whole team, set off from Sanyan Ridge, and swear to defend the headquarters to the death. Yes, Captain. With a single command, the entire new regiment enters combat mode, carrying all ammunition and weapons, including newly made flying cannons. All rush to Sanyan Ridge. Chapter 10, Commander Chen oversees the battle, and a new regiment enters the battle. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Headquarters. General Manager, Left Chief of Staff, Commander Liu, Brigade Commander Chen, and others are looking at military blueprints. Heavy-hearted. A large army is pressing the border, who will take on the task of stopping it. Cover the retreat of headquarters and rear personnel. Old Liu, how is your health? The CEO asked with concern. It's much better, thank you for your concern, Mr. Liu. Thanks to this kid Li Yunlong. If it weren't for him delivering penicillin in time, I'm afraid I would have had an amputation. Li Yunlong. The CEO seemed to have thought of something and said, yes, how could you forget about Li Yunlong? Mr. Liu immediately understood and said, Boss, do you mean to have Li Yunlong come to stop the enemy? That's right. Li Yunlong is a skilled fighter, but when he causes trouble, he is also one of the best. Can you rest assured to entrust him with such an important task? There's nothing to worry about. The CEO decided, it's just him. Old Chen, I'll give you this task. Immediately call Li Yunlong and ask him to launch the Cangyunling position. I must defend Sanyan Ridge and buy time for the logistics troops to retreat. Yes, ensure completion of the task. Brigadier Chen responded and was about to have the messenger inform Li Yunlong. Unexpectedly, as soon as he turned around, a messenger walked in to report. Report, CEO, Li Yunlong called. The new regiment has arrived at Sanyan Ridge, please assign a combat mission to the headquarters. Boss. Left Chief of Staff. Mr. Liu. What? Captain Chen. Everyone showed a surprised expression. Boss. Captain Chen, what's the situation with Li Yunlong? It's a foreboding. How did he know I was going to transfer him to guard Sanyan Ridge? Captain Chen spread out his hand and said, I don't know either. Li Yunlong won't be fooling around again, will he? Captain Chen asked the messenger, what else did Li Yunlong say? The messenger shook his head and said, according to the news from the soldiers ahead, the new regiment has already distributed ammunition to individuals. And each person has already carried 3 days' worth of dry food. It seems that we were already prepared, muttered Mr. Liu. Signal soldier. However, there is a very strange phenomenon. Many people see the new artillery unit carrying iron tongs to the battlefield. I don't know why. As soon as these words were spoken, everyone showed a puzzled expression. Old Chen, hurry up, go ahead and take a look. Li Yunlong probably has something bad to hold back. I knew he wasn't an honest master. Yes, Chief. Sanyan Ridge. The soldiers of the new regiment are actively preparing for battle, and Li Yunlong personally commands the engineers to dig trenches. Hurry up and bury all the landmines, each one is directly separated by 5 meters. In addition, a heavy machine gun position will be built on the small hill on the west side. Build an infantry trench at the foot of the mountain. Build a light machine gun barricade at the front. Brothers, hurry up, the little devils are coming soon. The soldiers of the new regiment have all undergone special training and are top-notch in building trenches. Captain, where are our cannons buried? Li Yunlong. On the back half of the mountain. Remember to disguise yourself with dead branches and leaves. A projection from a high position provides a longer range. Pillar, this is a new weapon to suppress the bottom of the box. Without my orders, no firing is allowed. The first issue is that the target of the torpedo is too large to be detected by the Japanese mortar. Secondly, there is not much explosive used in this torpedo shell, so we need to save on it. Yes, Captain. Soon, defensive positions and firepower points were built one after another. Zhang Dabiao and Shen Quan looked at the scene before them and couldn't help but feel surprised. I didn't expect our leader to be a skilled defender. This time, the little devils will suffer. No, you see, the trenches and scattered soldiers complement each other perfectly, even the arrangement of light and heavy machine guns is very particular. Amazing. The two nodded in praise, eagerly anticipating the upcoming battle. Everything is ready. Li Yunlong. What are you two kids muttering about? Captain, your construction is so impressive, it's the first time I've seen you. The good show is still ahead. Captain, Captain. The brigade commander is here. As soon as the words fell, Brigadier Chen approached Li Yunlong. Captain, what brings you here? Li Yunlong grinned with a grin on his face. Don't show your teeth and grin at me here. Brigadier Chen said with a serious expression, have you received any news, kid? As he spoke, he looked around at the newly built defensive fortification at the foot of the mountain and said, hey, I haven't seen you for a few days. Your son has married a wife, and even the construction of defensive positions is different. Who did you learn from? Hee. It's all because the brigade commander taught well. Li Yunlong flattered. Captain Chen said, stop talking nonsense. The boss has ordered that the new regiment must defend the Cangyunling Ridge for 3 days in order to cover the transfer of the division headquarters and field hospitals, and to buy time for them. 3 days away, if you hold on, you will be the heroes of the 8th Route Army. If within 3 days, you fall behind. Lousy. Before he could finish speaking, Li Yunlong patted his chest and said, Captain, don't worry, I promise you with my head. Not to mention 3 days, 3 months, even little devils can't think of crossing the Cangyunling Ridge. Besides, the little devil stepped on my body. Captain Chen felt a little distressed and said, you won't be able to say anything good. You must bring me back alive. Yes, Captain. Li Yunlong knew in his heart that Captain Chen was just a sharp-tongued tofu heart, and he took great care of him. Report, Captain, we have discovered the Japanese. Li Yunlong. His damn little devil has finally arrived. All prepare for battle. Enter combat mode. It's the leader. P.S. Thank you for the flowers and monthly tickets. There will be a change soon. I hope you will continue to support Lao Tai.